Today's topic is consistency. It's a banging day in Edinburgh, 21 degrees today. You know where I'd want to be? I'd want to be in the pub. But I'm heading to the gym because that's what progress means. I'm Carl Ragavan, Europe's original starting strength coach. This is Beautiful Strength. Welcome to the show. So yeah, this is always going to be an interesting day heading to the gym. It's a beautiful day. Wednesday, middle of the week as well. Some of you who are serious about your training, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I pretty much right now follow a Monday, Wednesday, Friday program. Obviously, different things can vary that, right? If I've got travel, if I'm going back down to London, or if I've got trips for lifting camps, whatever, I might have to make exceptions. But for a while, I've been doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I also like a 4-day split where I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. But again, that doesn't work for everyone. Not everyone can do that. And that's okay. You just got to make do with the time you have. But for me, I've always been privileged enough to prioritize it for most of the year, that it's going to be not the weekends, which is fine. But some people have to do the weekends. Nothing wrong with that either. The key part is consistency, right? And the funny thing about training around the world is obviously through social media I post obviously PRs and meaningful lifts. I've actually been also posting more consistently of my actual training. I just got up to 100 reels, so that's 60 seconds of footage of training, and I actually had to do a new reel, so posted over 100 reels there of my training. So the interesting thing is you get a good sense of what my training looks like. If you follow my training reels on Instagram, you'll see it's a lot of heavy lifting, right? A lot of barbells, and it's compounds, you know, done for a shit ton of days, right? Compounded over time. That's what kind of works. You've got to lift heavier weights over time. They got to be barbell compound lifts. That's how you get big and strong. So what I'm getting at is, yes, I was fortunate enough to lift at good barbell gyms because I'm smart. I did my research and found good quality gyms, and I commuted to those places. They weren't usually always on my doorstep. And the piece which I'm getting to is the consistency, right? For these 3 roughly years of me traveling, you know, I very rarely missed workouts. And what I think of more than the PRs themselves is the journey to get to the gym. So even rewinding the tape back to Estonia, I remember when I deadlifted 270 for the first time, so it was almost 600 pounds. I deadlifted 270 that day. I actually didn't even want to go to the gym because that day and that whole month was a very grey, miserable and rainy day. And Bolt, if you don't know, originally is a company that was made in Estonia, kind of like Uber, but a lot cheaper. So usually I would catch the tram and then also have to catch a bus. So it's a bit of a schlep to get to the gym on most days. But again, whatever. I know I'm a Londoner, but I've had the luxury to live in countries where I can pick the weather. So for whatever reason, the rain, miserable, clouds, whatever, was a shit day. I didn't actually want to go train. But Bolt was so cheap, I ordered a Bolt. What was really funny was he was playing on the radio or whatever he was on Spotify, Rolling Stones song came up by accident, randomly, but I thought it was brilliant. You can't always get what you want. Yeah, so that song came on and I was just like, fuck, because my training usually leads up to a really, really big number. And that day, obviously, you're a little bit nervous, you don't eat, your appetite's not the same, stressed, worried about that lift, and the consistency was there, trained my ass off. Didn't even want to go train because I didn't want to know the answer. Would I make it? Would I miss it? Right? And these are all coming from someone who's very experienced and has done many PRs and has trained for a consistent time. I actually felt that, but my consistency shone through and I crushed it, right? But it was kind of interesting that that song, You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Stones, is so true. And I feel like the consistency of training, not missing workouts, regardless of where you are, what location, what country, what city, what town, if you can get under a barbell and make progress happen, you're guaranteed to break PRs. And the more and more I think about it, I think of things more than the PRs. So when I was living in Bologna, what was kind of funny was the transport to the gym. It was either 45 minutes on a really hot, cramped bus, or it was a 60-minute walk. So you do the bus for a few weeks and get fucking fed up of it, because we was there when it was fucking hot as well. Well, hot for us anyway. I think it was like 30 degrees, something like that. And yeah, so I eventually started just walking to the gym, which was actually really nice. 60 minutes is long, right? But 3 days a week. But you walk through these beautiful porticos, which is this beautiful, very cool red brick kind of stone. Especially when the sun hits it, it's gorgeous, right? So, and it kind of went through all the town. And you know, it's kind of annoying, you know, having to like walk an hour, train for 2 hours, and then walk an hour back. And then there was a situation when it was pissing of rain, and I chose to walk that day. Poncho, just endured it, put some music on, and it actually, the thought of stepping out in the rain, I didn't want to go train that day, but I actually have quite fond memories of that walk to the gym in the rain, and I'll always remember that one training day. And there's actually a romantic side to this little stuff. Obviously the PRs and visibly seeing your body change is obviously really nice, but I can find the romance and the beauty of that moment, and those things, that part of suffering that happens when you have to fucking walk in the rain for an hour to train. And my training session that day was good. I think I did like a 260 deadlift for triples, which was good. At that point I knew it was like doubles or triples or whatever, so I knew I had a big PR coming up from a deadlift, because that was the cycle of training where I actually deadlifted 290, so it must have been 260 for triples or something, right? Anyways, yeah, so I actually have really, really fond memories of walking in the rain. The same with that car ride from my Airbnb to Sparta. I have really fond memories of sitting in the car, worried and being anxious for my deadlift session, right? Or, you know, the feeling I felt before my big overhead press. You know, those feelings are actually the pieces of consistency that you don't see from the highlight reels. who's going to be in the gym today on a sunny Wednesday. Because 9 times out of 10, those are the kind of people who are probably going to be making success long term. Same with, obviously, you know, people who bang on about fucking training on Christmas, stay hard, that kind of rubbish. Like, those people, if they're training consistently for the whole year, power to you, right? But if you're just bragging about how you did a jog on Christmas Day, no one gives a fuck about that. No one's impressed about it. It's about, where are you when the weather's banging or the weather's really shit? Are you in the fucking gym? The days, this is a great quote by Dr. J, famous basketball player, legend, Dr. J for Philadelphia. He has this great quote about success or just being good. He says, being a professional is doing the things you love on the days you don't want to do it. Being a professional is doing the things you love on the days you don't want to do it. Honestly, this is perfect. Such a perfect quote. Because to be honest, I agree with that. I don't always want to squat, press, deadlift, bench, power clean, chin up, but it's on the program. I don't want to always be training Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? But that is the program. What are you doing today? I'm doing the fucking program, right? It's Groundhog Day every fucking day. Well, you know, training day. That mentality. You're on target. You're on task. That is the mark of success in the gym. And I can't overemphasize how important that is. You have to do the things that are important even when you don't want to do them. How many other things in life actually play on those rules? It just is so profound. I just love that quote. Do the things that you need to do, that you're hyped about on a perfect day when your sleep is amazing, your food is perfect. You have to train like that energy on days where you don't want to fucking train. So before you throw shade and hate at all these people who are bigger and stronger than you, perhaps maybe think about how much time and effort and consistency they've put in when days are banging like this, but they're in the gym and you're not. So stop being a bitch, start being consistent, and start making some progress. I'm Carl Ragavan. That was Beautiful Strength. The barbell never lies.